Osgood Perkins is a genius. He is the first son of Anthony Perkins, who played Norman Bates in Psycho. So that was Osgood Perkins' first achievement in life. His father starred in the best horror movie ever made. Oh, I just found out he played the 12-year-old Norman Bates in Psycho 2. So, Anthony Perkins' son, Osgood Perkins, played a young Norman Bates in Psycho 2. Now, you may be wondering, why am I saying this guy is a genius? Well, let me begin. Well, this isn't genius or anything, but his first writing project, I think it was his first, was called Cold Comes the Night. He wrote it, and it was starring Bryan Cranston and Alice Eve. Alice Eve is the chick in the Star Trek remake that was awful, where she had, like, she was in a bikini, and everybody criticized it, you know, with, like, Chris Pine staring at her and being like, ooh, I'm sorry I caught you like that. She's like, yeah, I'm just wearing, I'm just in my underwear here. No, I never watched this movie because I only watch horror movies, so. But, that was his start. Okay, and then at some point later, he wrote a screenplay for this movie, The Girl in the Photographs, which was really good, starring Cal Penn, the guy who was on the show House, and he eventually got into politics. He started working for Obama. And this girl, Claudia Lee, I think her name is. And she was the hot chick in Kick-Ass Part 2, that movie. But The Girl in the Photographs, that movie was pretty good. Like, it was pretty haunting. And then Osgood Perkins got into directing as well as writing. So he wrote and directed The Black Coat's Daughter, and it's starring Lucy Boynton, who's married to that bug-eyed guy that's like in iRobot or Mr. Robot, and otherwise she's not very memorable. And also Emma, I think it's Emma Roberts, the niece of Julia Roberts, and you can tell because of the big teeth. But that movie was my first inkling into the profundity of Osgood Perkins' style and ideas. Because I think he understands one thing, which is that horror is more about atmosphere than story. It's more about visuals. It's more about visuals and atmosphere than it is even about character or story. So then he made I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. And that was all atmosphere, almost no story. And it is just like, he is like an artist when it comes to visuals. I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House is such a movie where you're like, I don't even care what the story is. This is just so haunting. All the imagery and whatnot. Finally, about a week ago, I watched Gretel and Hansel, which he directed it, but he didn't write it. And it's the best witch story I've ever seen. Witch horror movie I've ever seen. And Alice Cridge plays the witch, and she played the Borg Queen in Star Trek. She was the villain in Sleepwalkers, if anybody's ever seen that. She was the villain in Silent Hill. And again, a visual masterpiece. This guy's a genius. I highly recommend Gretel and Hansel. I highly recommend everything he's done. And I'll be watching everything he does in the future because, I mean, this guy has, like, hit the bullseye every single time. If you support gays, click like. If you respect blacks, comment. If you think women are people too, click the notification bell. And if you care about sick children, subscribe.